thank you, Tony. A convicted killer accused of stabbing a correctional officer at the ACI appeared in court today.
John Carrillo is currently serving a life sentence and today he answered to even more charges. Eyewitness News reporter Steph Machado was in court for today's arraignment. She joins us now live from our newsroom with more. Steph?
John Carrillo has now been moved to the highest security facility in Rhode Island after police say he stabbed a correctional officer with a homemade shank. 79-year-old John Carrillo walking into a courtroom Tuesday to yet again be charged with attacking a correctional officer. He's accused of pulling a makeshift knife out of his sweatpants and stabbing Officer Jason Messier on Friday at the maximum security building at the ACI. He was already serving a life sentence there for murdering correctional officer Donald Price back in 1973. Messier is okay. His badge helped deflect the knife and he suffered a minor laceration. He and another officer pepper spraying Carrillo.
We're all concerned. I mean, this could have turned really bad.
Richard Ferruccio is the president of the Rhode Island Brotherhood of Correctional Officers. He says just last week at this memorial for fallen COs in Cranston, they honored Donald Price, who Carrillo stabbed to death 45 years ago.
You know, when someone kills a correctional officer and they're serving a life sentence, you pay attention to that individual when he's around because he has nothing to lose.
The medium security prison where Price was killed was later named for him, but closed several years ago. Department of Corrections Inspector Frank Levesque says they don't know Carrillo's motive for the alleged attack. He hasn't had past disputes with Officer Messier. They're looking into where the metal came from that was turned into the shank and whether any other inmates helped him get it. And we've uncovered more records of incidents between Carrillo and correctional officers. We'll bring you that coming up new at 6. Live in the newsroom, I'm Steph Machado, Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Steve. We have new details tonight on the 79-year-old ACI inmate accused of stabbing a correctional officer last week. We've learned John Carrillo, who was already serving a life sentence for killing a correctional officer back in the 70s, has a history of attacking guards. Eyewitness News reporter Steph Machado joins us now live in studio with what she's learned. Steph?
This isn't the first or even the second or third time John Carrillo has been accused of assaulting employees while in prison. John Carrillo has served 45 years of a life sentence for murdering correctional officer Donald Price, now accused of stabbing another CO at the ACI this past Friday. This time, a better outcome. Officer Jason Messier suffering a minor laceration from the piece of metal sharpened to a point.
42639.
The 79-year-old Carrillo has been committing crimes for 6 decades. He went to the Judicial Records Center in Pawtucket to look through his old cases, crimes ranging from possession of a firearm to assault to that 1973 murder of Donald Price that earned him a life sentence. We discovered he kept attacking officers after that. In 1978, he pleaded guilty to 2 counts of assaulting a correctional officer. At one point, the Rhode Island DOC sent him to a facility in Massachusetts. The Department of Corrections there tells me he assaulted a staff member in 1999.
You know, when someone kills a correctional officer and they're serving a life sentence, you pay attention to that individual when he's around because he has nothing to lose.
And despite that long history, a DOC official tells me Carrillo had been well behaved in recent years at the ACI. Of course, now with this most recent alleged attack, he has been moved to the highest security facility in the state. I'm Steph Machado, Eyewitness News.